Wanted to report to you on some troubling things that are going on in the ongoing legal battle between the Standing Rock Sioux tribe versus the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and Energy Transfer Partners, which is the parent company of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Please press the share button. Let's get this out to more people. So basically, let me read you the media article on this, which was absolutely ridiculous. So you know what we're dealing with. Hold on. Here we go. So this is ABC News. More time is needed to finish additional court-ordered environmental study of the Dakota Access oil pipeline due to difficulties in getting needed information from American Indian tribes fighting the project in court, according to federal officials. I want to read that to you one more time. More time is needed to finish additional court-ordered environmental study of the Dakota Access oil pipeline due to difficulties in getting needed information from American Indian tribes fighting the project in court, according to federal officials. So, as you could see there, they're already framing it. They're already framing it as, well, you know, the Army Corps of Engineers is going to miss its deadline to provide Judge James Boasberg important information on oil spill responses, as well as the tribe's fishing and hunting, how the pipeline is going to affect the tribe's fishing and hunting rights, which is a huge part of the way of life of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. So ABC News here frames it as, oh, well, Standing Rock Sioux tribe, they're not giving us the information we've asked for. So it's, as always, it's the Native Americans' fault. You know, isn't that what this whole country has been based on? We killed them, genocide, then we took their land, and then we blame them after the fact. Only in America. So ABC News just regurgitates what the Army Corps of Engineers says, because after all, the corporate media is a bunch of stenographers, which is really the problem. So I'll read you just a little bit more here so you get a taste before I tell you what is actually the truth. The delay won't impact the $3.8 billion pipeline, which has been operating since last June, moving North Dakota oil through South Dakota and Iowa to a shipping point in Illinois. But it will delay resolution of a federal lawsuit that has lingered for nearly 2 years. U.S. District Judge James Boasberg last summer ordered the Army Corps of Engineers to further review the pipeline's impact on tribal interests, including how a spill under Lake Oahe Reservoir on the Missouri River in the Dakotas would impact the water supply of the Standing Rock and Cheyenne River Sioux. The Army Corps last October told Boasberg it would finish the mandated work by April 2nd, but the agency late last week informed him that won't happen, quote, as a result of difficulties in obtaining requested information from the plaintiff tribes in a timely manner. So, essentially, ABC News, again, just regurgitates whatever the hell the Army Corps tells them. And I'm here to tell you what the Army Corps is telling them ain't true. It is not true. Are you surprised that the federal government is lying about Native American tribes and that ABC News, a corporate media outlet, is just regurgitating that? Please tell me if you're surprised. Let me then tell you, you also cannot make this part up, which is vile and disgusting. Let me show you what the Energy Transfer Partners has now said about the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Claire Booth Luce once famously lamented that no good deed goes unpunished. The United States Army Corps of Engineers surely can relate. Its remand process after this court's June 14th, 2017 opinion and remand order goes far beyond what the law requires. As relevant here, for example, the Army Corps has asked all parties for various categories of information, even though this court's October 11th, 2017 opinion rejecting vacatur plainly states that the remand order does not obligate the Army Corps to gather any additional information before it decides what explanations are needed to comply with that order. Indeed, the court deemed it quite likely that the pre-remand record already has everything the Army Corps needs on 3 discrete remand topics. Plaintiffs, meaning the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, insist, though, on inhabiting an alternate universe. Let me repeat that. Plaintiffs, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, insist, though, on inhabiting an alternate universe. They refuse to accept this court's determination, and they ask the court to turn the Army Corps' above and beyond effort against it. That is, their motions insist that if Army Corps wants to gather more information about tribal uses of hunting and fishing resources, the Army Corps must not only give plaintiffs other additional information, but also initiate formal government-to-government consultation. So I just want you to let that sink in, shall we? Let that sink in for a minute. Plaintiffs insist the Standing Rock Sioux tribe are inhabiting an alternate universe. This pipeline company literally dug a pipeline through their land, through their reservation, without consulting them. I have looked into this very much. There was just about zero consultation on Energy Transfer Partners' end and the tribe. So they don't consult them. They do a total sham study or measurement. They choose not to look 10 miles. They choose not to put the pipeline 10 miles north of 96% white Bismarck, where they looked at what the effects of putting the pipeline just north of Bismarck. For that, they looked 10 miles upstream. Whereas when deciding to put it right on the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation, they only looked at what the effects would be for just a half mile from the pipeline. And guess what wasn't included in that half mile that the Energy Transfer Partners measured? The Standing Rock Sioux, which was technically their reservation, was right, just like not even a full mile, right outside of the half mile radius they used to look. So you have Dakota Access Pipeline, parent company Energy Transfer Partners, who is the parent company for the Rover Pipeline, which has spilled over 20 times before even being operational in Ohio. Parent company of the Trans-Pecos Pipeline down in Texas, that is literally was built going underneath the United States and the Rio Grande into Mexico, and they didn't even disclose that till 4 months into construction. Is the parent company of the Bayou Bridge pipeline in Louisiana, which temporarily the permits were stopped, which was a victory. So what you have here, they're saying, ABC News just regurgitated it. Army Corps says, tribe's not giving us the information we need. Energy Transfer Partners attacking the tribe, saying they're living in an alternate universe, which is disgusting, considering what Energy Transfer Partners has done to these Native Americans and the threat Energy Transfer Partners has put on their water and their land and their way of life. Before I get into more information, I want to give you a quote from, his name's David Kane. It is precisely that kind of language and attitude that Energy Transfer Partner has used to try to discredit the tribe, which was why the tribe passed the resolution it did. That is David Kane. He is a technical advisor to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe and co-author of the tribe's 300-page report sent to the Army Corps. That's a quote that he told me. David and I have been talking back and forth. So David Kane, again, in response to the tribe being labeled as occupying an alternate universe, quote, it is precisely that kind of language and attitude that ETP, Energy Transfer Partners, has used to try to discredit the tribe, which was why the tribe passed the resolution it did. That's David Kane, technical advisor for the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. So what you have here, let me explain to you the real reality, not the alternate reality that Energy Transfer Partners is depicting. Because what they're saying is straight up nonsense. Straight up nonsense. So essentially, it's not the Standing Rock Sioux tribe who has not provided the Army Corps of Engineers the information the Army Corps needs to meet the April 2nd deadline that Judge James Bosberg issued last year. That deadline, Army Corps is supposed to provide information on their oil spill model. What is their model if there is an oil spill? What is their plan? Also, the impact of Standing Rock, an oil spill on the tribe's hunting and fishing rights. What is the effects to their environment, to the fish, to their ability to hunt? So I want to give you the Standing Rock Sioux tribe's side of the story, which in conversations I've had with them is the actual truth of what's going on. Energy Transfer Partners should work cooperatively with our tribes on meeting arrangements and the disclosure of important information relating to emergency management. Energy Transfer Partners should exhibit a good faith, good luck, and meet with our representatives in our tribal chambers as is customary, rather than obfuscate and avoid addressing our concerns. Whereas on June 14th, 2017, Judge James Bosberg granted partial summary judgment to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, ruling that the final environmental impact statement violated the National Environmental Policy Act, which is NEPA, short for National Environment Policy Act, by failing to properly evaluate three things. Number one, the potential impacts of an oil spill on the hunting and fishing rights guaranteed to the tribe in the Fort Laramie Treaties of 1868 and 1851. I had mentioned that earlier. Number two, Dakota Access Pipeline's disproportionate impacts on the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. Number three, resolve the controversy among expert opinions on the impacts of an oil spill, and remanded to the Army Corps of Engineers to prepare additional analysis of these issues. So basically, before I go on, I want to make sure you understand. Basically, this judge said that there were violations by Energy Transfer Partners and the Army Corps of U.S. on the grounds of environmental justice. As you see, number two there, DAPL's disproportionate impacts on the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. And the judge demanded a more thorough oil model spill, as well as for Energy Transfer Partners and the Army Corps to provide what the environmental impacts and what the impacts would be on the tribe's hunting and fishing rights. So if there's an oil spill in the Missouri River, again, the longest river in the United States, let's not forget that, folks, wasn't really reported that way. The rare reporting that the corporate media decided to do on this. Basically, there's this back and forth, but the judge, in a favorable ruling to the Standing Rock Sioux tribe last June, said you need to actually provide a firm oil spill response, because when the pipeline spills, not if, and again, already spilled 5 times that we know of. We don't know. For all we know, it has spilled already under the Missouri River, but North Dakota, like Texas, not so tight on the actual regulation, and oil companies don't really have to provide much by way of reporting oil spills. The actual level of spill that needs to be met before it needs to be reported is very, very high. And even when there is high levels of hundreds of thousands of gallons reported, sometimes these oil companies forget to report it. And as a reminder, because you don't hear this, this is their land. They're just fighting for their lives, because water is life. Energy Transfer Partners says they're living in an alternative universe. But, and the tribe is not providing the necessary information. Let that sink in. Whereas, notwithstanding the violations of law, Judge Bosberg denied the tribe's request to shut down Dakota Access Pipeline pending the remand analysis by the Army Corps, and instead directed Dakota Access Pipeline to collaborate with the Standing Rock Sioux tribe on emergency planning for the Standing Rock Indian Reservation, and to conduct an independent third-party review of compliance with the applicable regulations. It shall be necessary for the Tribal Council and the Turk to review, in advance of any meeting or negotiation, and here we go with the meat of this, the most current facility response plan without redactions. It is not possible to engage in oil spill response planning without the baseline information required in the FRP. For example, contingencies involving inclement weather should be fully identified, but there is no evidence of this. In any event, Energy Transfer Partner has refused to disclose this information. You have Energy Transfer Partners and the federal government. Energy Transfer Partners basically saying Standing Rock Sioux Tribe is living on an alternate universe, which is just astounding. Astounding. But, so, they're attacking the tribe, saying they're living on an alternate universe. Then the Army Corps of Engineers says, oh, Standing Rock Sioux Tribe isn't providing us with the information they need. Namely, they're saying they're not providing the Army Corps with all the information on their fishing and hunting specifics to their tribe. You know, I guess what goes into their fishing and hunting, you know, where they fish and things like that. But the truth is, the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe has asked for specific technical information for months. And Energy Transfer Partners and the Army Corps have not provided it. The information that they did provide was heavily redacted. You know, like those WikiLeaks documents, you get documents, but half of it is blocked out in black. So why is half the information that they provided redacted? Could it be they're hiding something? Standing Rock Sioux Tribe has asked for the most current facility response plan without redactions, which is what I just told you. Number 2, the most current Lake Oahe spill model, including scenarios analyzed and technical documentation. The Army Corps of Engineers indicated that the permit and easement for Dakota Access Pipeline is contingent upon development of a spill model. However, there is no evidence that a spill model has been developed by Energy Transfer Partners as required by the Army Corps. Number 3, the most current risk analysis specific to the Lake Oahe crossing. The Lake Oahe crossing is that final permit that former President Barack Obama denied, but then Trump reversed it and they got that Lake Oahe permit, which Lake Oahe flows into the Missouri River. Number 4, the worst case discharge. The WCD, worst case discharge estimate, needs to reflect a realistic release time. The leak detection system, LDS, and the SCADA computer monitoring system have not proven to be sufficient to provide actionable alarms in a central control room to promptly and accurately identify a pipeline rupture and initiate shutdown of the pipeline. The release time of 9 minutes estimated by Energy Transfer Partner is wholly unrealistic. A reasonable analysis would incorporate a realistic release time, a more nuanced interpretation of LDS and SCADA performance, and would incorporate issues such as operator confusion time and isolation valve availability numbers. However, ETP has refused to disclose this information. There is no evidence that any of this has been done. What are we supposed to just trust the oil company because they're known to just be bastions of honesty and progressiveness? Give me a break. And ABC News just regurgitates what the Army Corps, who's lying, and the Army Corps is literally doing the bidding of a private oil company. So when you hear, 9 minutes front to end, and Kelsey Warren, the Energy Transfer Partners CEO, who went on PBS about a year and a half ago and said, it's in the rare scenario that this leaks, we have a state-of-the-art system and control room and that the valves go off and it shuts down like that. Because I trust Kelsey Warren, the CEO of Energy Transfer Partners, a plutocrat who don't give a damn about Native Americans, doesn't give a damn about your water. He don't give a damn about anyone but himself and his Gilded Age family. I mean, what? It wasn't enough just to literally ram a pipeline through their reservation, endangering their whole tribe, endangering the water of 20 million people who get water from the Missouri River downstream. That wasn't enough. So this is from David Kane. He is a technical advisor that I've been speaking to from Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. As part of the judge's remand, he also ordered ETP to meet with the tribes to discuss emergency response planning and select an auditor, a third-party auditor, to evaluate Energy Transfer Partners' spill response and modeling. ETP scheduled a meeting on February 8th in Bismarck. This after the tribes have made repeated requests via the technical team, of which David is a part, for very specific technical information. That technical information I just read what that technical information they requested was in the tribe's resolution. Not surprisingly, Energy Transfer Partners has refused, and what little info they did give has been heavily redacted. Well, why does a big oil company send information heavily redacted? Could it be they're hiding something? Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Not surprisingly, the Tribal Council, tribal elders, and many Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and Cheyenne River Standing Rock Tribe refused to meet with Energy Transfer Partners on February 8th and instead sent our technical team and Lakota elders to Bismarck. At that meeting, a Standing Rock Sioux elder delivered a 10-minute lecture to Energy Transfer Partners in Lakota. Doug Crow Ghost, department head of Standing Rock Sioux Tribe Water Resources, read aloud a letter from Chairman Mike Faith, he is the chairman of Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, repeating the tribe's demand for technical information. Hand-delivered the letter, and we walked out of the meeting. It is clear from the February 8th meeting that Energy Transfer Partners wants to just give the tribes a dog and pony show in front of the Army Corps. The tribe feels that Energy Transfer Partners is attempting to trample on their sovereignty. So the Army Corps lies and said, well, the tribe hasn't given us the information we need. Meanwhile, the oil company won't provide the tribe with anything, any technical information. The information they do give the tribe is all redacted. Hey, Lee Camp has a popular show called Redacted Tonight. Well, why is the oil company, who we should not be depending on for honesty, redacting technical information? Maybe it's because they haven't done a thorough spill response model. Maybe it's because their numbers are all, rosy flowers and a rosy picture that's not realistic. A Native American tribe who wants to save its water, save its children, save its elders, save its sacred land, save its burial sites where its ancestors are buried, and save the planet. If that's an alternate universe, where's my ticket?